Hello, welcome to Math with Mr. Dobrescu to the rescue. Let's continue today to write an equation that describes this function. So we have the input x and then we have the output y. And remember again, for each input there is exactly one output, and this is actually a function. Okay? So what we have to do here, first, in order for us to write an equation, we need to graph these order pairs into the graph here, and then we need to find the y-intercept, and then we need to also find the slope, and then we can write the equation into this form: y equals mx plus b. So let's write the order pairs for the inputs and for the outputs. The first input is 0 and it goes to 0. Input 0, output 0, so that's the first order pair, 0, 0. The second input is 1, output is 4, so 1, 4. Next we have 2, 8, and then we have 3, 12. Now that we have the order pairs, now we can graph each order pair on the graph here, on the coordinate plane, and then we can identify the y-intercept and the slope, and then we can write the equation. Let's graph first 0, 0. 0, 0, it is right in the origin. And then let's graph 1 and 4. 1, x is 1, y is 4. X is 1, y is 4, and the dot goes right there. Let's continue. X is 2, y is 8. X is 2, y is 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right there. And probably to the right will be more. And finally, x is 3, y is 12, x is 3, and then y is 12 right there. And once we have all the order pair graphed, now then we connect the dots. Let's connect the dots. And we see that the line goes through the origin. So we know that y-intercept is 0. So our equation is going to be y equals, we're going to find out the slope, and it's going to be times x, and then plus the y-intercept, which is 0. But remember, 0 doesn't count because it's 0. So we do not even have to put it in the equation. So we're going to take away the 0. But now let's find out the slope. So to count the slope, let's count the slope between those 2 points. Okay? So we know the line goes to the right, so the slope is going to be positive. So we go, the rise is 1, 2, 3, 4, and the run is 1. Okay? So 4 over 1 is the slope. Remember, the slope is the number or the fraction that goes in front of the x. So this is the slope. And b is the y-intercept. Okay? So now, anytime we write the equation, we do not even have to write it as 4 over 1 when we write the equation. Okay? When we graph it, we need to have it 4 over 1 so we can have the rise over the run. But when we write it, we just write y equals 4x. So the final answer is y equals 4x. Okay? So we were able to write an equation based on these sets of numbers, the input and the output. So we had to do the order pairs for these sets, and then we graphed the order pairs on the coordinate plane, and then we identified y-intercept and the slope. Okay, let's continue to these examples here. We did some in class today, and then let's continue with these ones here. So we have the output is half of the input. Remember, yesterday we talked about output means y. So the output is in math means equals. Half means 1 over 2. Of in math means times. And the input is x. So the final answer is y equals 1 over 2x. And this is our equation. In the next problem, we have the output. Again, the output, which is y, is, again, means equals 1 more. So 1 means 1, and then more means plus. So 1 more, then twice. Twice means twice, right? So twice the input, where the input is x, like we talked before. So y equals 1 plus 2x. And if you want to write it in the y equals mx plus b form, we can switch them around because addition is commutative. So we can rewrite the equation as y equals, we put that first, the slope first, 2x and plus 1. Okay, is the same thing, but we have to rewrite it a little bit. Okay, let's continue to another example. In this case, they are asking us to find the value of y. So find the value of y, okay, for the given value of x. So now they are giving us the value of x, which is negative 12. And remember, if they are giving us the value of x, we are going to substitute this x in our equation with negative 12, and then we are going to solve for y. So we have y equals, instead of x, we put negative 12, divided by 2, plus 9. And negative 12 divided by 2 becomes negative 6. And negative 6 plus 9 becomes positive 3. So y equals 3, final answer. Let's continue to our last problem for today. They are asking us to graph this function. So we have the function y equals to x. Remember, the x is the input and the y is the output. So in order for us to graph this function, we need to create a table of values. So in this table of values, we are writing first the input, which is x, and we are giving some small values for x, just like yesterday. We gave negative 1, 0, 1, and 2. Always choose small numbers so we don't have to work that hard, and we will be able to graph those ordered pairs eventually here on the coordinate plane. Now, once we have the input for x, we are having the function right here, 2x. And now we are going to substitute negative 1 first into the x in order for us to find the y. So we have, instead of x, we put negative 1. So we have 2 times negative 1. 2 times negative 1 becomes negative 2. And the first order pair is negative 1, negative 2. Negative 1, negative 2. Remember, the order pairs are written in the form x first and then the y second. Let's continue with 0. So instead of x, now we are going to plug in 0. So we have 2 times 0. 2 times 0 is 0. And our second order pair is 0 and 0. The third number is 1. So we are going to plug in 1 for x. So we have 2 times 1. 2 times 1 is 2. And the third order pair is 1, 2. And finally, we are going to plug in 2 for x. So we have 2 times 2. 2 times 2 is 4. And the fourth order pair is 2, 4. And now that we have the order pairs, we are going to graph these order pairs on our coordinate plane, a coordinate graph, and then we can graph the function. So let's graph first negative 1 and negative 2. So x is negative 1, y is negative 2, so it's going to be right here. That's our first dot. And then let's graph 0, 0 is going to be in the origin. X is 0, y is 0 right there. And then let's graph 1 and 2. X is 1, y is 2. X is 1, y is 2. It's going to be right there. And next, we have x is 2, y is 4. X is 2, y is 4, and it's going to be right here. And we just have to connect the dots. And we are done. We graphed the function. Thank you all so much for watching. I appreciate you guys working so hard and practicing functions, because functions are very important, especially in middle school. Take care. Make sure you like and subscribe, and stay tuned for next video. Take care. All the best.